Let God be praised, and whether you're watching this in the morning, the evening, or the afternoon, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's just a couple of things I want to say. It may take a little while, so you can turn it off. This recording is not for everybody. Let me just bring it to your attention that the early Israelites, or I should say children of God, were released from bondage in Egypt after Joseph had delivered the whole world from famine with his vision of 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of famine. It's in that vision that Joseph attracted his brothers down and, of course, his father, and they went to Goshen, and after the deliverance, he was soon forgotten. But because of God's mighty right hand, our Father in heaven, his right hand, delivered the Israelites. And some of them were perpetrating fraud as children, actually, of the priests that existed in Egypt, who insisted that the children of God be enslaved. Not for money, but for security. It was later on for capital that it was second guessed by Pharaoh not to release them. And I guess something could be said of who were these people and, what actually did they compose of? Who these children of God, these children that Abraham shuddered about, thinking about slavery, as well as some of the things that he thought about, possibly even Jesus going to the cross. He shuddered at thinking that the chief priests, scribes, Pharisees would lead others, including the Romans, to crucify Jesus. Maybe this is what he shuddered about, but that's not the point I'm making. After the Israelites were released from slavery, they were actually given wealth. They said, get on out of here. We don't care what it takes. Let's get the heck out of here. After their firstborn sons were killed, this people of Abraham, through Isaac and Jacob, of course, through the tribes, and of course Joseph was one of the tribes. He actually had Manasseh and Ephraim being the gift, Manasseh being forgiven, forget the past. Because until you forgive, guess what? You can't give. Keep that in mind. But it was these people who were released into the wilderness. Of course, the Red Sea was parted, etc. What you got in your hand, Moses? That's what the Father had to ask him. So he parted the Red Sea. They went on through, and this was a great event. Yet a generation were in unbelief. You can read that also and find that out. It was not till the next generation that they were allowed to live. Matter of fact, Moses himself got angry and struck the rock. But again, read that for later. But that whole time, that whole 40 years, their shoes didn't wear out. Their clothes didn't wear out. And the point is that they were moving in tents. Matter of fact, the people of Israel celebrate the festival of tents. The ark itself was in a tent until it was captured in Shiloh, and I was supposed to read that up, under Eli and his sons, who were messing up greatly, taking all the good meat out of the pot and hitting on all the sisters. Y'all know something about that, don't you? Yeah. In the church. And this was, I'm giggling, but it wasn't funny, because it caused the revelation of Jacob in Genesis 49, or I'm pretty sure it was 49. It says that the scepter shall not pass until Shiloh. This was the place that the scepter did pass. The law was carried in the ark. The 10 Commandments, in fact, as well as the almond branch and what else? The 10 Commandments, the manna, the little bit of manna that they were supposed to remember. Only the 10 Commandments were were there at another inspection after this Shiloh event. Of course, the Philistines got that. And where am I going with this? This whole time, folks were in tents before they got to the promised land, before they became judges, before they were kings, like Saul, David, and then Solomon. I think those are the first three. Before all that, they were in tents. But guess what? The homeless of today, in this year of 2026, are in tents. Listen, do you hear what I'm saying? In tents. It's intense, the life that is in tents. So I got 3 tents. One that the people of Israel were in. Number 2, being in tents on the cross and being delivered. And of course, the homeless of today, giving us a sign, who are living in tents and intensely. I want you to chew on that as we go forth. Thinking about being sober and vigilant, looking for Jesus to come back any day now. Listen, he's not coming back as a little lamb. He's coming back as a lion. I've already given several videos about this. And you preachers who out here getting it so messed up, it wasn't the Jew that put Jesus to death. It was the scribes and Pharisees who went to the Romans who put Jesus to death. And that was by the will of God. If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be saved. You wouldn't have a reason to be saved. He had to die and be resurrected. So get it straight. Preach the right thing. It's not the Jew. Just as like it's not you preaching bad. All I hear is this and that. But I'm glad to hear preachers like Reverend Murray Martin over at Holman Street Baptist preaching the truth, trying to wash us. Yeah. And Bishop Rush over there on Alabama and Live Oak, preaching truth that we should be washed. You haven't made it yet just because you're saved. You got to get off that pew and get out of that glue and get out there and do something in the community. Think about the tents. Think about the children. Think about the tents that the homeless are in. Think about the children. Don't worry about this FIFA and other things that are going to be coming up here that you're worried about money being held back from the police department. Yeah, they're giving you trouble and trying to make you change because the police are going to lose money. Okay? Thank you. That's all I got to say. Let the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart, be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. And guess what? Get it right, please. We only have a little bit of time.